Good morning. My name is Lovar, and I would like to tell you a story. I was born on the planet Torvis little more than 600 years ago. My parents are humans. They were born on planet Earth. I am not an alien of any type. My parents met in the Martian mining colony, and I have taken my story and I have written it into a book that I have presented as a science fiction novel because if it wasn't a novel, nobody would believe it anyway. So, this mining colony on Mars was, uh, well, it's in the future of today, so it will be shipping raw material back to planet Earth. And my mother is still a physicist, a Russian physicist scientist who developed a technology that everybody in the scientific community of planet Earth laughed at. They criticized it and they didn't want to help her out. So she decided she was going to just go to the mining colony on Mars because anything and everything was accepted in that mining colony when it comes to intellectual pursuits. And she met my father, Paul, who was basically the boss of the mining colony. Everybody called him boss, but everybody loved him like as if he was their father. There were about 3,000 people in this mining colony, and they lived underground, of course, because it was Mars, in a very nice underground city, basically, small city, miniature city, and it had all the superstructure built into it to support the underground living quarters and, of course, everything that was needed to support human life, like gardens and growing food and sources of water, etc., etc. So, this is where my story begins. And it begins, and I'm going to refer to my notes, which is my book. It begins in Earth year AD 3973. Now I'm using Earth years because on Planet Torvis we do not use Earth years because the planet makes a much longer journey around the sun and it takes approximately 3 Earth years to make that journey. So the Torvian year is 3 times as long as the Earth year. So this story begins aboard the space transport, which they called Crystal City. And I will get to the reason why they are aboard a space transport. This is Ted speaking. Ted is my dad's uh, best friend, basically, and he flew a naval fighter jet on planet Earth until he got tired of it and he came to planet Mars, to the Martian mining colony, because he wanted something different and exciting and new. Ted is talking. Hey, boss, we're in view range of a planet. It ain't like the one we've been looking for. but it'll support human life, and we ain't got a lot of choices at this point. We only got enough fuel ore left to slow the city enough to enter gravity. Once we begin our descent to the planet's surface, we'll have to shut down all systems not connected to life support and hope for the best. He spoke without emotion. After 8 years of travel through billions of cubic hectares of completely unknown and certainly uncharted space, this was just another day and nothing to get excited about. Yet, compared to the view of the galaxy through the shell of the city they inhabited as travelers across its unimaginable expanse, the years and the distance seemed as insignificant as a single tear dropped into a mighty ocean. They had executed their departure from Mars colony with speed and precision, successfully eluding the imminent attack from the military fast strike team sent to quell the rebellion and get the colonists back under Earth control. The military had arrived sooner than expected, so the colonists had not had the time to load the full complement of fuel ore into the bunkers prior to launch into galactic space. But they had done one hell of a job with what they had. They didn't want to supply the armies of Earth any longer because they did not believe in war and the destruction that it causes. Paul, my father, known to all as the boss, was tired of the routine of solving one survival crisis after another, day in and day out, just to keep traveling toward a planet they weren't even sure was there. So he was quite satisfied with the option of any port in a storm. Okay, Ted, let's prep for the initial approach. Begin shutdown protocol. Let everyone know what's happening. I'll speak to our people as soon as you have the comm links in array status. Get Dr. Torvitska up here pronto. She'll have to set up our approach. How long till we arrive at our entry point? Ted punched up a screen and requested data. Transferred it to his algorithm for calculating distance, speed, planetary rotation, gravitational acceleration, all mostly educated guesses, and came up with an answer. About 86 hours, boss. It'll take all of that to prep the shell and get the folks into landing configuration. We better put on some serious coffee, because we won't be getting any sleep. Paul chuckled grimly. Putting on a pot of coffee was a joke around control. They hadn't had coffee since the first year of travel. He would have given anything he owned for a hot, steaming mug of zombie and hill-grown dark roasted coffee with a touch of real cream. As you can probably imagine, traveling through space, you don't have access to all of these amenities, all of these nice things that we enjoy and take for granted. Get the rest of the command crew operational immediately. Put me on the screen now. We haven't got time for any bullshit. Just get them awake and get it done. Paul moved smoothly to the public address camera above the view screen where he would see himself speaking. No one had bothered to worry about how they looked on screen for many years. Light me up here, Ted, and let's get this show on the road. The green LED on the camera pod popped on, and Paul saw his lined, bewhiskered face staring back at him from the screen. He smiled as he always did, because a smile was more useful than a scowl. Fellow travelers, we are about to reach our destination. In the next 56 hours, we will prep for the entry and landing sequence into the gravitational pull and atmosphere of a planet we know will support life. And just to tell you a secret, it turns out that it's the planet that they named Torvis, after my mother, Torvitska, last name. We have not as yet observed any life forms or signs of inhabitants, so Our intention is to land and colonize an unspoiled planet where we can follow the code of life we have all sworn to uphold. Please follow the instructions and orders of your division marshals while you prepare for our approach sequence. It will be best for us all if you stay in your assigned stations and remain secure until we give the all clear in about 3 days. We look forward to seeing you all on the planet's surface. God be with us all. He kept looking into the camera till the LED snapped off. Crewmen were were sliding into their seats and cubby holes all around control. Paul stood up to address them. Okay, people, we're going to try to set this crazy flying city down on solid ground without killing too many people. We all know this has never been done before, but neither has most of what we have done for the past 8 years, so we are the experts. Just stay focused, do your job, and we'll make this happen with the least amount of pain and suffering. He flashed them his contagious smile as they all chuckled in response. Each of them knew the philosophy of their commander and how well it kept everyone working together in harmony. Be honest, be positive, and for God's sake, believe in your own ability to do more than you think you can. Let's begin our entry protocol for planetary gravity and rotational sequencing. We have a gravitation map of the systems we are entering, so our focus will be on using the frequency generators to buffer the gravitational pull of the two suns so we get to the planet without being pulled apart. Our intent will be to interact with that force to let us move into planetary alignment with the least expenditure of fuel ore. Emily, begin system shutdown citywide. Only life support should be powered. Leave water source pumps till the last, just before we begin gravitational entry. Emily smiled and tossed her wavy dark hair. She had always admired Paul from afar and secretly hoped someday to be his consort and bear him a son, even though he was old enough to be her father. Check, boss. Beginning the shutdown sequence now.